Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 97, September 5th, 2018. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
Hello, everybody.
Michael Aston.
Howdy, y'all.
Jimmy Trammell.
Hello, everybody. Show 97.
Show 97.
Oh, that means we only have three more, and then we quit, and we're not going to do any more of these episodes, right?
I think so.
We're just done.
I think that was the plan.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to reach 100 and say, congratulations, we can do this. We are successful, and we just don't need to do it anymore, right? Something like that?
I don't know. I think we should go for 1 comma.
Ooh. Hey, if we make it to 1,000, we better do something pretty fancy for 1,000. That would make a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, that'll be what, 10 years worth of, to plan. Right. So
maybe we'll get a cake.
By then we'll be the direct to your brain streaming squad. There won't be TVs or screens or anything involved. It'll just be like direct through, like sent directly to your ocular nerve.
Then we're in the Matrix by then, right?
Oh, maybe there. Yeah, that might be the way to go.
This is what we need. We need the Matrix. This will be the actual VOD squad on the street.
We're not already in the Matrix.
We'll be the blue pill or the red pill squad.
I never know which is which. Even immediately after I saw that movie, I didn't know.
We'll all be the blue pill squad.
The blue pill squad.
The blue pill was the one that said that he didn't want to do it anymore. So
that's not what I mean.
I know, Matt. I'm trying to
Matt's taking the high road.
Right. Brought to you by Fight. All right. How you guys doing otherwise?
Great.
I'm fantastic.
School started today. It's amazing. It's actually very amazing because if you know anything about what's going on around here, there's a lot of schools that are on strike right now in Washington State.
What?
Well, there's a short version, long story. The government of the government of Washington State said we are funding schools and teachers, and so they passed a kind of a law and a decision made us head down to give money to schools to go to teachers, but all of them are negotiating, and there's people picketing in the street at some schools. Actually, a lot of schools. Not mine. It's all good. We got started today. It all went well.
Yeah.
Phoenix. So who's picketing the teachers?
The teachers. Yep. If you look up Washington State strikes, you will see a lot of teachers.
They're angry they got more money.
No, they're angry that the schools are not handing down those funds to the teachers. Yeah. When the actual, according to the decision, is supposed to mostly go to the teachers. So
yeah, the Phoenix or Arizona just had the same thing. They just finished. My niece is a teacher in Arizona, and they just had a big strike because of the similar thing. The state funded additional pay raises to the teachers. Those pay raises never arose to the teachers, and so they went on strike in order to actually get the money that they were promised in law.
Right. Exactly. It's a very similar thing going on here. So,
all right,
it makes things interesting.
Fortunately, politics never gets ugly or inefficient or anything like that. So
and people don't get sick of people talking about it either. So we should totally keep talking about it, or should we?
Isn't that what VOD Squad means?
Yeah, something.
I had to look and see if I was bleeding. I'm biting my tongue so hard. All right, hey, why don't we get into some actual technology news?
Okay, we're gonna move on to technology news. All right, we're gonna start with Samsung. Samsung has said that they were gonna be bringing out these 8K televisions, and guess what? They've actually announced a couple models that you will be able to buy. Models like the Q9S 8K TV was officially been unveiled and will have all the 8K standards, including HDR10 plus. They're just going to be models that are 75 inches, 82 inches, and 85 inches. And I have no information here about what the prices will be for these models. So it's obviously the kind of TVs that if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
No. So I'm imagining a 50-inch Pioneer Plasma circa 2008.
What was that? 10,000,
Something
20,000?
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. Okay, I still have yet to go 4K, so my 720p in my bedroom still works great. So
I keep every weekend I keep almost pulling the trigger on a 4K TV, and I go, well, where am I going to put it? Because I'm not getting rid of my plasma. I love my plasma. So yeah, I think until
it
this
dies.
Yeah, but this thing's been kicking for long enough that I don't think it's ever going to die. I won't let it. I will resuscitate it. I believe, Mike, do you remember seeing this display at the Samsung booth?
I do remember seeing some of the 8Ks there.
Well, I remember 8Ks, but I don't remember seeing this at the Samsung booth.
Right.
Which,
I don't think it was.
Well, because they previewed it there, and my initial reaction when I read this story was I think I was underwhelmed, and the fact that I don't even remember seeing it in their booth means, yeah, I don't think.
Well, I mean, the thing that's problematic to me in this is that, I mean, at least half of these sizes, if not all of them, 8K really doesn't make a lot of sense, right? You certainly don't need 8K on a 65-inch TV unless your intention is to watch it from 3 feet away. Because, like, I remember 2 years ago there were tons of 8K displays, especially at like Huawei and what was it?
Changhong.
They had some amazing 8K, like 96-inch displays, and at 96 inches, that 8K was pixel free perceptually at like 3 feet.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, literally 3 feet away, 96-inch screen, you can't even see the pixels. So 65-inch, 75-inch, even probably an 82-inch just doesn't make sense. There's no visual perception. Of course, not even counting the fact that you won't be able to get any content probably for another decade. But yeah, I love higher resolution. I love progress and improvements. I just don't see the value in this at the sizes that they're currently offering.
And that was the point I was going to make. Maybe in the 80s, when you get into the 80s, high 70s, you know, it's kind of like when you're in the high 50s, low 60s with 4K. It's like, okay, yeah. But anything below, I'd say 75, absolutely not worth it.
Definitely, I would say absolutely nothing under 80-inch would make any sense. Even the 75, no way. But I go to like someplace like Costco or Best Buy or whatever, and I look at an 85-inch 4K. They look amazing, even at 85 inches. I honestly think, my opinion, my visual perception, there's no point to 8K under 90 inches.
Well, you also got to remember, I mean, they're going to look a little bit different in the store than they do when you get home, because they're set by default to what they call torch mode, where everything's cranked up to make it appealing under the... But still, yes. I mean, a 65 1080 looks good. Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'm, my opinion on this, I mean, these 8K televisions, I mean, hey, the geek in me tells me, oh, okay, yeah, this is great. It's higher resolution, higher specs, that kind of thing. But, the practical side of me, I mean, this is just more of a a promotional thing by Samsung, I think, just to show that, okay, we are progressing and trying to do new things here and all. But I mean, but if you look at it from the practical sense, there are no 8K content, right? Mm-hmm. And how long is it going to take for it to be out there? And who's going to buy it at this crazy, 5-digit price for a television, right? I mean, nobody with any sense is going to buy that, buy that much of a television and have no content to even show on it, really.
The one great thing that I can say about this is usually the point where you see the next generation come out is when you start to really see it. Dramatic improvements in the previous generation's pricing, right? So expect that as this comes out and starts to become more and more mainstream, as those prices come down to be like normal, or not normal, but wealthy consumer level. So right now it's like millionaire level, right? But gets down to wealthy consumer level, then you'll start to see the high-end 4K QLEDs, which are kind of it's that and the OLEDs that are the top of the line right now. QLED and OLED, very high quality, awesome looking displays. So those still sit at like 2,500-ish for a 55-inch. And so you'll start to see those prices start coming down dramatically as these hit the market. Yeah. So that's a really good thing for us as consumers. We'll be able to afford nicer TVs.
Yeah, and that was the next point I was going to make, is the most exciting thing about 8K TVs becoming commercially available. 4K TVs are going to be more affordable, and 1080p TVs are going to be dirt cheap. They're already dirt cheap.
Yes, they are.
You can get like a 60-inch 1080p for like less than $300. They'll be giving them away.
For $300, you can get a 4K 50-inch, 55-inch.
Well, 50. That's why I said 60, 65. Yeah.
Well, okay. So, and also the other thing I have to wonder is that how many years down the road they'll be doing this 8K thing, and then they'll start making the 16K standard come out.
The one question,
God, how far are we gonna go?
The question I have is, are they gonna consider 8K as the perfect time to relaunch 3D? So we get it right this time.
No. It'll be the at-home IMAX experience where they can take up half your entire room, one wall and two more walls, kind of thing. And
well, yeah, that's the LG The Wall or Sony Cletus.
Well, I think you're saying this a little tongue-in-cheek, but one thing to realize is that the biggest difficulties with 3D are the cost and the quality of the imagery and the effect it has on people, right? People often get headaches and nauseous and stuff like that from watching 3D. The better the resolution, the better the viewing angle, the lower those things happen. So honestly, 8K for 3D starts to make a little bit of sense because you have the high enough resolution that you don't have the jitteriness, you don't have the plus, other things.
The 8K image already has depth of field, right, which will make the 3D easier. Yes, thank you for picking up on it. I wasn't completely I was being sarcastic for the sake of being sarcastic, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody decides to try and use 8K as a springboard to relaunch 3D. But
we should move on. DC Universe is officially going live on September 15th. Remember, guys, this is not DC Universe Online, the video game that you can play on for free, but instead this is their television channel, their streaming channel that they're announcing with all the various old and new shows available for you to watch. Shows like Titans and what was it? The other one that was the Legends of Tomorrow and our Arrow shows are going to be on there as well. So now that we have a release date, you'll know when you could drop your $75 a year or $8 a month for just DC content.
Nice.
Okay.
If $75 a year, that's not a bad price, actually.
If they've got a killer show, which they might have, people will buy it, but I don't know.
B. Coford eloquently puts, "Hooray for confusing branding."
Yeah, well, there's already a product called DC Universe Online.
DCUO, right?
DCUO. I played that a lot, and that was a fun game. I think I might this story might make me just re-download that game tonight. I don't know.
Maybe that's the trick. Subliminally get people to start playing the video game as well. One cool thing about this is, DC has some really good TV related content. Their movies have largely been flops and not done particularly well, but they have good TV content. Hopefully this will just spur on more quality TV content like the Titans show that they have coming out. And, hopefully it'll be more like the TV shows than the movies, and this will be good stuff.
Yeah. I really don't have a dog in this fight, so...
So the thing is about the DC television shows that they're actually halfway decent, but they're not really good. I mean, I know some people are really into Arrow, and that's their jam. So
I tried to watch that confusing one about the heroes that aren't heroes now, but they're going to be heroes in the future. So they have to do something now to become heroes in the future. I don't know. I got confused and I stopped watching.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Honestly, I absolutely love Arrow. It may not be great TV. I don't know. My opinion, it's awesome. I like The Flash quite a bit. Legends of Tomorrow is enjoyable, though I would say it's probably the lower quality of the shows. Even Supergirl's pretty decent, though I'm not anywhere near up to date on that.
Well, I mean, historically, the best shows weren't really good shows. I mean, go back and watch MacGyver. That show was amazing, but it was a terrible show. That show was terrible, but it was fun.
You have to embrace the ham, embrace the cheese, and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, Sony's coming out with some new 4K projectors which are specifically designed for people that like to play video games or watch sports in high frame rates. These new projectors offer 60 frames per second and are available for it looks like they're replacing models that are anywhere from 5,000 pounds or more. So
that's heavy.
Well, for projectors, it's actually not that expensive if you count for the cost of projectors.
I didn't say nowadays. Expensive. I said that's heavy.
Oh,
Who
that's
wants
true.
a 4,000-pound projector?
2 tons.
How are you going to get it home?
You're going to have like special structural engineering to hang it from your ceiling, and it's a real pain.
Yeah. So, but now we're getting real 4K projectors. This is good because they took forever for 1080p projectors to come out, and now 4K is finally on its way. So,
yeah, I mean, if you like want to play stuff or watch games on a really big screen, that's always been the drawback of a projector is the lower quality, washed out. You just kind of deal with it. Rock on.
Okay. This week's obligatory Apple story is that they are going to be having a new event next week, September 12th, which I believe is the same day we'll be making a show. So we will probably be talking about some of the things that come out of this.
Breaking news.
They announced it with an email that's sent out to people with the words "gather round" and the strange circular.
They're gonna make round phones.
That's right.
No,
They're bringing back the lampshade. They're bringing back the lampshade.
It's a discus. It's a Tron disc.
No, the reference there is the Steve Jobs Theater. It's round. That's what that's for.
No. My serious guess is that they realized that the fingerprint sensor is really nice. Now that they're going to keep the screen all full screen, but they're going to follow Android's footsteps here and put the fingerprint sensor on the middle of the back of the phone.
No, I think you guys have missed it. This new phone is meat powered. You have to go out and gather round. So like ground or.
Okay. Well, somebody said that this is just the picture of their new campus from space, obviously. So but this right here, there's also the idea is it could be an actual circular watch, but there's already been people who found things that's basically prove that that's not going to be true. So we don't know, but it's going to be circular, whatever the case is. I'm hoping for a circular keyboard. I don't know, because sometimes they do silly things like that.
They're going to add back the dial.
Are they going to bring back the? Are they going to bring back the tragic MacPad?
Was that, you mean the magic?
Yeah, they call it because it was terrible. It was tragic. It was a tragic MacPad.
I don't know, but
I stole that from Paul Thurrott. He always.
But it's got to be whatever it is. It's going to be a circular thing, and the truth being told, why is everybody so crazed about whatever Apple is going to announce? I don't get it. But
it's like the headline: Apple is going to announce 3 new phones. Yeah, I would kind of expect it's about that time they're gonna, are they gonna go a whole year without putting out new phones and demanding that you buy more products? Hell no.
Well,
their investors would revolt.
Well, I mean, I'm the Apple geek, I guess, of the crowd here, right? But I have to say, and it's not just so much Apple. I think it's just kind of smartphones in general. I mean, yeah, I've got the iPhone X, right, or the iPhone 10, right? Mm-hmm. And this thing's got a 6-core chip in it, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think I need a phone with an 8-core chip in it, or
why not?
Something.
We all have phones with 8-core chips. My phone's over a year old.
but the thing is like I don't think it's gonna buy me anything all that much more, right? So I think we're starting to get it.
No, it's not what it buys you; it's what it buys them with the money that you paid them to get the new thing.
Well, the rumor is that the new phone is going to be in traditional fashion. They're going to take their last model phone and put an S on the end, so it is going to be the iPhone XS.
Yeah,
which is a perfect name.
The iPhone XS, right?
So Al-Anon made, I think, probably the closest theory that in the fact that they're bringing back the touch wheel from the iPod.
Oh, the click wheel.
Click wheel. Yeah, click wheel.
Originally it was click wheel, and then it was the touch wheel. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like that, but maybe.
Well,
that would
if
be
it's
cool.
On the back of the phone, like I've got my fingerprint reader there, and then you can click wheel on the back of it.
Hey, Alan, if you're right, bravo, and I could see them doing something like that. So
I mean, going back to what I was saying, I mean, I think smartphones now. I mean, hey, I'm excited to see new smartphones from Apple. Any year, right? Yeah. But I have to say, smartphones nowadays, and it doesn't matter if it's Apple, Google, Samsung, whoever, right? I mean, I think nowadays is getting to where
we've gotten to a plateau.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I mean, I'll tell you, I've owned every iPhone except for one every year, and that was the 3GS. That was the only one that I've not ever owned. I've owned every iPhone since then, and I got to tell you, unless there's some really killer feature, right, in this new iPhone, I'm not upgrading this year. I'm
actually
hanging with this guy.
What that looks like, now that I'm looking at it, that looks like inductive charging.
There you go.
That looks like the inductive charging that's inside the cover of like an LG or a Samsung phone.
It could be something to do with wireless charging. Yeah,
I mean, because you figure 2 to 3 years after Android does it, iTunes puts it out as a revolution,
right?
So it would make sense. It would follow suit.
Speaking of like phone upgrades and stuff, one thing that if you look at what's happened with computers over the years, the decades and stuff, you always need to upgrade your computer. There's no point where your computer doesn't need to be more powerful. And the reason is that software requirements continually take advantage of the hardware that's available to them. The minute you get 12 gigs of RAM or 16 gigs of RAM or even 32 gigs of RAM, games or software are made that can take advantage of all of that. You know, if you're a graphic designer or a programmer, you will utilize every bit of the hardware that's provided to you. Phones are very different. Most games are designed to work across a broad array, so nobody designs to the absolute top end of the phone market. Everybody tries to make phone apps and software that's going to work across a broad array. And that's kind of a mantra of mobile developers, is to make sure that your application is performant and runs well with low or minimal RAM requirements. And so one of the problems with upgrading your phone every year, and the reason I don't feel like I need to upgrade my phone, along with what Jimmy said, is that the software is not growing at the rate of the hardware. And so there's no real reason to upgrade now that we've gotten decent amounts of RAM, good processing power, great cameras. There's no motivation to upgrade. The screens are now big enough until the software starts to push up against the limits that the hardware can handle.
Yeah, except for somehow Apple's figured out the formula to make a dedicated fan base that will buy whatever that they come out with.
Well, no, I mean this upgrade cycle here is going to be not for the guys who bought the iPhone 10 last year.
Probably not, because they dropped $1,000 and they don't feel like dropping another $1,000 this year. So I totally get that.
Yeah, these are for the guys that maybe still have the iPhone 7 or maybe the iPhone 6S.
They're on the 2-year cycle with their carrier. Right.
Yeah. So I mean that's who this is for, right? Somebody who didn't upgrade last year. That's who this cycle is going to be for, I think. Right. I mean, it's going to be, there's going to be probably a feature on there that's going to be pretty neat, and all that kind of thing, just like there always is, right? Sure. But yeah, just like what Michael was saying, I think, and this is not even pertaining to Apple really. It's to all smartphone makers, right? They're all in that same boat, right? I mean, it's like, if you've got last year's phone, there's not really that compelling of a reason to want to upgrade to this year's phone.
The phone makers, if they want to continue to release significant hardware improvements every year, they're gonna have to start pushing software developers to push the limits on what the hardware is capable of. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, there's going to be no motivation to upgrading to the top of the line phones every year or every 2 years even. We're just at that point that software needs to really start pushing forward if it's going to justify the hardware increases.
Yeah,
but then again, hey, what do we know? Apple's $1 trillion company now, right?
Yeah, whatever. Let's talk about YouTube. YouTube is not yet $1 trillion company, but it's getting close with Google and Alphabet. They are working on a new ways of providing nonprofits to ask for donations on their channels. YouTube is introducing new tools for nonprofits that allows them to make donations directly on the channel. And they have a embedded version of a program called YouTube Giving that allows them to include a link that people can pay right through it. And right now, it looks like YouTube is covering all the transaction fees. So 100% of your funds will be going to your to where you want it to go. So this is kind of cool stuff. I mean, if we have more people who can get donations, hey, Clyde, can we register ourselves as a nonprofit and get some donations on here?
Yeah, we currently don't make any profits.
You're reading my mind.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't make any profits, so I think that's like the definition of nonprofit, right?
Something like that. Come on.
Yeah. Come on. Okay. But then we'd have to broadcast on YouTube and not Twitch.
Okay, that doesn't bother me. Bothers you, obviously, you poor man. All right, Dolby Vision is something that's one of those big HDR standards, and it looks like if you have an Xbox One S or an Xbox One X, you can upgrade using their beta channel and get access to Dolby Vision as compatibility right now. So for all of those guys who have those and were very interested in getting the HDR when it became available, you can now jump into the alpha or beta channel and get your HDR 10 right now.
I always want to know who came up with these screen caps, because they're always terrible. Like this Netflix thing, it's featuring probably the worst thing that Netflix ever created.
Oh no, I would argue with that. That's not
Jeff's
the worst.
table on the bottom there,
That's not the worst thing they ever created.
Okay,
Right.
we'll talk about that afterwards.
That challenge.
Yeah, Marco Polo is not near as bad as Lilyhammer.
Oh, Lilyhammer was awesome, dude! Don't you talk crap about my Lilyhammer. So,
Actually,
and they didn't create it. They didn't create it. It was. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
what's up next?
Lilyhammer was actually pretty funny.
TikTok is a new service. Well, apparently not a new service, but a service that is allowing you to now make reaction videos using your phone or using other devices and post them online. Which is all the rage now, these reaction videos. So TikTok is a new service that is specifically aimed at those reaction videos. You want to make your own reaction video to this video? Feel free and make one and tell us all about it.
So they apparently... I wouldn't have known what a TikTok was, except I see that they took over Musical.ly last month. My kids, they know what Musical.ly is. So... Okay, rock on. Bring on the reaction videos.
Yeah, I think reaction videos are an interesting new form of basically communication, because you can have reaction videos and get in-depth thoughts about things as they go along. Some of those are very interesting to me, to go into something and then see somebody's reaction to those things. I think those that can be very useful. I know there's a lot of crap out there too, so... And
doesn't YouTube have this already?
Yes, but not an easy way of making it with a free app.
Yeah, you'd have to go in and have a good computer and a good camera and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
The only reaction videos I've ever enjoyed are the kids react videos to old technologies that I grew up with, where they give them a Walkman and they what do I do with this? Oh, I heard of these. These are crazy. And they're how do I change songs?
I would have to go out and say the best reaction video was Asians watching I Want to Be Ninja. All you Night Attack people out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, it was...
Okay.
Yeah, you should look it up. It's pretty funny.
Okay. CBS announces the thing that I think they announce almost every year, that they are working on making sure that when you want to watch the big game, Super Bowl, on the mobile devices, you can do it without any kind of sign-in, nothing required. Isn't this what they do every year? What's different this year? I don't think there's anything different this year.
Oh, this year you can do it on a mobile device.
You couldn't do that last year?
You had to do it in a browser, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, figured I'd announce that.
Well, the thing is, CBS does do a good job of broadcasting online streaming, right? So, at least you'll know the quality will be good.
Well, but hasn't every year the Super Bowl crashed at some point during the Super Bowl?
No, that was a few years ago. It's been pretty good the last couple years.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, Parking Dog is reminding me that CBS didn't have the rights to the game Super Bowl in previous years. It looks like Fox had it last year, so.
So I know the year before it was CBS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So the question I have, will it be 4K?
Probably not.
8K.
16K, 64K. Streaming the Super Bowl in 64K. I can see it now. Netflix has hired a Christy Fleischer. I don't know if I said that correctly. Fleischer. Who is a merchandise person who's been working with various companies to make various new products, and they're going to be using her and her knowledge to make a whole bunch of new cool things for you to buy around various Netflix properties. Get ready for your Stranger Things plushie dolls and other fun things. So, like maybe you'll get your Marco Polo hat. Just what you need, right?
I want the fuzzy Genghis Khan hat.
There you go. Yeah. That would be good. That would be cool to have.
I mean, we need it up here when, like, the weather actually literally tries to kill you. I don't know who Christy Fleischer is. I don't know whether or not I need Netflix swag. But, hey, free market, I'm in.
I look at what they did with Stranger Things, and I hope that she can get things better under control, because I can't tell you how many stores I walked into and saw a million Eggo waffle sets of Stranger Things DVDs, and it's like, who goes to the store and buys a bunch of Stranger Things DVDs? Like, if you know what Stranger Things is, you already have Netflix.
I got my mom a Northern Exposure DVD box set that came in a zip-up, like, parka, and she absolutely loved it. That she still raves about it.
Yeah, but that's something that you can't just watch on your Netflix all the time. That's what I'm saying is, A, the DVD for a Netflix show just doesn't make sense.
Oh,
and B,
they've been talking about actually branching out into syndication and other media. So, I mean, if there's something you love, it's nice to be able to own a physical copy.
Obviously, by the number of ones on the shelf with a display that's 100% full, people didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
And what I say, I mean, literally dozens of stores.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a large market. I'm just saying there are people out there that will want it. Just don't overdo it.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is, hopefully she'll rein them in and get them under control, rather than just the idea of, well, as long as we make it, they'll buy it. We're in a little bit of a different era now.
She grew up in the Field of Dreams era. If you make it, they will come.
Yep.
All right.
Well, Tenacious D is going to be making a new series of videos that are going to be put on a new on a YouTube channel, so you can get a good glimpse of their new album called Post Apocalypto. I'm not a big Tenacious D listener, but I've listened to a few of their songs. I really enjoyed Tribute. That is an amazing song. And so this looks like a cool way to market their new album. So I hope you're a big fan.
I have one question. When did Rob Reiner join the band?
Or is
that Santa Claus?
No, apparently that is still Kyle Glass.
So somebody help an old man out here. Who is Tenacious D?
Jack Black and the other guy, Rob Reiner.
Kyle Glass.
Jack
Black, which is more famously known for many of his movies he's done, but he and Kyle Glass make some pretty rockin' music with Tenacious D, and just curious, have you ever considered doing a movie night with Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny?
The problem with that, I mean, I would like to. The problem is it's got a lot of dialogue, and the dialogue is important, and so those kind of movies don't work. And then plus, it's a good movie.
Okay, so Tenacious D is kind of like the Traveling Wilburys, except none of these guys were ever rock and roll legends.
I would say they are rock and roll legends, which is probably what launched Jack Black's career. Because I'd never heard of Jack Black until after Tenacious D, and then all of a sudden he's in all these movies like School of Rock and whatnot. So, Jimmy, check him out. I think you'd enjoy him. It's fun.
I'm sure I would enjoy him, but I don't know. It seems like to me like it's a Traveling Wilburys play. That type of thing.
They were more of they would be more of a musical comedy troupe than because Traveling Wilburys was like a super group,
right?
Where they weren't famous. That was like their comedy troupe.
Yeah, I mean it's more like Weird Al, right? Like they write songs that are intentionally fun and funny, and it's really enjoyable. If you like rock, then this is great hard rock that's really lighthearted and funny, and it at times kind of makes fun of hard rock itself while being quality hard rock music.
I'll have to check it out.
It's, again, I recommend you to check out the song "Tribute."
Yes, Tribute.
The song's fine, but it's.
What was the one? Something slowly.
Don't know.
Oh,
these guys are touring, really?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and there's a great song that they did with Dio as well that was really good.
Dio? Who is Dio?
Ronnie James Dio. He took over for Ozzy and Black Sabbath.
Okay.
And then he had his solo careers.
Yeah, one of the greatest heavy metal singers of all time.
All right. Moving on, IMAX Enhanced is a new program you can get into your home if money is no object, where you can go ahead and get a IMAX certified 4K television solution for your home. I do not know what this means, but it does mean that you're going to be spending a lot of money in order to have what you would consider the best at-home experience available.
I'm willing to bet these are not certified out of the box. You have to call an agency and pay them. They will send a technician over to inspect and certify your screen.
Yeah, you probably the prerequisite there is that you have to have that Samsung 8K television, right?
Well, it's only 4K street whatever they're sending to you, so hopefully it'll work with a good selection of 4K TVs too.
I don't know. This always makes me mad. They throwing around the word IMAX. This fits into the Liemax category because IMAX is that 20-story screen, not like when you go to a theater and they have Liemax, where it's IMAX-ish.
All right.
So
yeah, I mean this is a lot like THX was back in the 90s, right? You would pay an extra arm and a leg to get true theater quality surround sound, and you would usually have to have a technician come out and configure everything for it to be an IMAX or a THX certified install. But my uncle did this, and his sound system was truly amazing, and it was much like going to a theater. So my suspicion is that this will be very expensive. As you suggest, Clyde, you might have to, in order to actually have a true IMAX qualified setup, you'll have to have a technician come out and do all of that. But in the end, you will have an unbelievable theater experience.
Yeah, I mean, the potential is good. I don't think I'm going to be signing up for this anytime soon.
Yeah, this is targeted at the
Hopper.
What is the video equivalent of an audio file?
You know what? I wonder if
file.
this is targeted at the same people that are getting the actual movies delivered to their house by armed guards. You know what I'm talking about? So like
they can watch them
yeah. So they were getting 4K movies that way because they weren't available anywhere else. Okay. Yeah, well, we'll have to follow this one and kind of see where it goes. And yeah, I think that brings us to the end.
Yep, that's the end of the news for the week, guys. Thanks.
Awesome. Hey, this is the point in the show where we check in with the big voice Jay.
Welcome to your B-Team Movie Draft Minute, presented by DiamondClub.tv for the week of September 3rd, 2018. I'm your host, Big Voice Jay. Is it just me, or do y'all smell pumpkin around here? Summer must be over. Let's go to the scoreboard. Team Walking Drunk is in last place with $184.5 million. Team Game Night is in third place with $580.1 million. Team Retro Misery is in fourth place with $751.9 million. Team The Bot Squad is in third place with $784.4 million. Team Have a Drink is in second
Okay.
place with
I'm going to restart this. Hold on. For some reason, the audio's
Your
playing.
audio's messed up, man.
Yeah, I think it's using this headset. Give me a second.
Oh, no!
No, it's when I launched Skype, all of a sudden my audio went weird. Let me check something real quick. Because the audio didn't play earlier. Now I'm bummed.
No, it-
Who
No,
runs Skype? Who is it that runs Skype?
Microsoft?
Oh, yeah, that must be the reason.
Well, if you talk to Microsoft, they will say, well, it's because I'm using a version that is no longer supported that I'm not supposed to be using anymore.
Whatever.
But,
Yeah.
Because you're not using the version with the ultra sucky UI.
yeah.
No, they still support the old version for a little bit longer.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, let's see if we can hear it.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Here, let me do this. Change my headphones. We'll do that.
Yes.
All right, I'm just
I hear you,
changing that
Matt.
over.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. So, oh, hey, what happened to XSplit? It did not like me pulling that USB.
How about it, Parking Dog? Can you hear us now?
Oh, he couldn't hear the audio from the
Yeah,
Big
from
Voice
the-
J, so I'm just checking my audio default system. Yeah, default.
Well, it's I'm really happy that we managed to hold on to third place. That's all I'm going to say
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
It's really getting close, though. We are just. Is this the end? Are
All right.
we done?
Well, let's see if he can get
Let's
the.
find out. Let's try it again.
Let's try it again.
All right.
Welcome to your B-Team Movie Draft Minute, presented by DiamondClub.tv for the week of September 3rd, 2018. I'm your host, Big Voice Jay. Is it just me, or do y'all smell pumpkin around here? Summer must be over. Let's go to the scoreboard. Team Walking Drunk is in last place with $184.5 million. Team Game Night is in fifth place with $580.1 million. Team Retro Misery is in fourth place with $751.9 million. Team The Bot Squad is in third place with $784.3 million. Team Have a Drink is in second place with $877.8 million. And in first place with $1,041.8 million, it's Team Movie Party. That's Movie Draft Minute. Big ups to Stephen Cogswell for tonight's music. All totals are accurate as of September 5th, 2018.
And I didn't even get to watch I didn't even get money for my last movie.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is that if you go to the official page for the official draft from the Diamond Club, so draft.diamondclub.tv,
Oh, hold
and
on.
you go down.
Don't let me get there first.
And you know, it's kind of an interesting thing because you can go down to the bottom of the list, and they also have Replicas as a movie that they are actually going to be putting on there. And as Clyde has pointed out, that Replicas maybe was supposed to come out earlier, but it looks like it got pushed back, and they've added to the list literally
nothing.
So we might have to talk to the commissioner and literally put a 0 in your column for that one. But I think it's official. I think if it was me, I think I would call it. It's officially done, and Clyde, you deserve congratulations for winning, and that's all you deserve.
Oh, I deserve much more than that.
Nothing.
And we'll see what I get.
Well, I mean, it is the irony that, you know, the VOD squad is in third place and Clyde has 3 commas and the amount that he...
Yeah.
Yes.
But also, remember, irony is the opposite of wrinkly.
All right. Congratulations. You just won the day. That was excellent.
I'm kind of sad to see this season end, but I am excited for what we do next.
Yeah, I'm curious. Has there been any word on when we will get another season for us to do, and when that happens?
That usually happens towards the end. We still have 4 weeks, 4-ish weeks till the season's officially done. And then when the official Diamond Club announces, then we'll follow that lead, because they will be dictating what what movies and whatnot.
Okay.
So it's usually end of September, early October-ish.
Okay.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be the winter movie draft. It would be the autumn movie draft.
Okay, so then the big question is, if there was one movie coming up in this winter movie draft, that off the top of your head, which one would you want?
I don't know of any movies coming up this. So,
anybody else have any?
Is there a Star Wars movie?
Oh, I do want to. I do actually want to see that the house with a clock in its walls, but that's not going to make much money.
Well, maybe you can get it for cheap.
I'm excited to see the new Harry Potter movie.
Yes, I was going to say the new.
Wait, is it a Harry Potter movie or is it a Beasts movie?
It's a
Fantastic Beasts movie. So, but this one occurs back at Hogwarts and closer to a time period that people are familiar with. This is about Grindelwald, which is, well, I mean, the last one kind of was as well, but steeped in things that people are more familiar with. It's not in New York like the last one was, which I think hurt the performance of it, because they didn't have the Hogwarts and the things that everybody associated so strongly with Harry Potter.
There's also the thing that everybody associates the most with it is Harry. Otherwise, it's not a Harry Potter movie if it's not,
Yeah, but it's got Dumbledore, it's got Hogwarts and stuff. So I think this one will do actually better than the last one. And the last one was really good. If you've seen it, if you like Harry Potter stuff at all, then it was a really good movie. So looking forward to it.
All right.
Well, we also have other ones like Venom that's coming out, and we're going to be coming up with...
is that Spider-Man cartoon world one coming out? Spider-Verse?
Oh, didn't that already come out?
No, that was Homecoming that came out last...
The animated one does look like it's going to be very, very good, so that could be fun, so...
Alanon points out there's going to be Aquaman, but that's a DC movie. DC movies are going to, I don't know much about the comic book stuff, but even I know DC movies are.
It's a DC movie. Go expecting it to suck. Enjoy it, and if you're really lucky, it'll turn out like Wonder Woman.
Just as long as Superman doesn't show up with a mustache, because of Tom Cruise. Yes, so I went on to say Spider-Verse comes out in December.
So. Okay. Well, then that'll be something. I'm sure that'll be on the list, and other movies like Bumblebee. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of movies are available for. Creed 2 is coming out. Everyone needs another Creed movie. That sounds good. So
yeah.
All right. Well, hey, at this point, we should probably get to our rants and rapes.
Oh.
Okay, what we got? Who's ranting? Who's raving?
I'm actually going to do both.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
All right, so I'll talk about a couple of shows I'm watching right now. Ozark on Netflix. Season 2 is out. Yep, I am about maybe 3 episodes into it, and am liking that one. That one.
Let me ask you. Does it basically pick up with the same momentum that it built from the previous, or does it start out all stupid slow like the first season did?
No, it picks up right where it left off, and it just continues on.
Good.
So yeah, really enjoying that one. I'm about 3 episodes in, and highly recommend that one. Also watching Jack Ryan. That's from the Tom Clancy novels, right? That one's on Prime Video. Enjoying that one. I'm about maybe 3 episodes into that one as well. That one also I give that one high ratings as well.
Oh,
go ahead. No, you.
I was going to say that reminds me of a story I forgot to put into the show notes because you like Jack Ryan. You say it's pretty good.
Yes, I do.
Vanity Fair would disagree with you. Vanity Fair says that Jack Ryan is a patriotic nightmare. Watching this show feels like falling down a Fox News rabbit hole. So, yeah, they if you read the article, it goes on to basically, because it's he's a strong male, that it's a terrible show.
Well, the thing is, those same kinds of reporters have always found fault with Tom Clancy novels, right? So I mean, that's not really all that new, right? So
yeah.
I'll second that with Jack Ryan. I'm 3 episodes in as well, and really good up to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. The one rant I will say is that if you've been watching this for a while, you know that about a little more than a year and a half ago, I cut the cord. I left Comcast to go with AT&T Fiber.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, a couple of days ago, I decided to go back because I always like to check and see, who's offering what, that kind of thing. And so I went to look and see what kind of service that Comcast had. Well, turns out that they are now offering gigabit internet service now, and they even have 2 gigabit internet service. Right, the rates are pretty reasonable, but the thing is, with all their plans, they still have the terabyte data cap. Right. So that's the thing, is they still have stinking data caps in today's internet economy, right? I just don't understand that, right? I mean, Comcast, if you want me back, I mean, they're a good service. I wouldn't mind going back to them, right? But as long as they've got data caps, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went to AT&T Fiber, right?
I did.
Yeah, because it was traditional cable for Comcast, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Comcast will let you do internet service only now. Before they used not to do that, but they will do that now. But the drawback is that they still get the data cap.
That's why I pay for business class, because then I have no business or no data cap. I'm paying twice as much as I would for residential, but the service is so much better.
Yeah. I mean, the AT&T, they have no data caps. I really enjoyed the service. If Comcast were to take off the data caps, I'd seriously look at going back to them. But as long as they get those data caps on there, man, no thanks. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. But I mean, to point out, it's their business. You don't have to buy from them. No. So if they want to do data caps, that they can. As long as you have an alternative, another company you can take your business to, and that's a free market.
Yep.
Exactly as it's designed.
Not only that, too, they kind of want you to sign like a 2-year agreement too on their plans, is what I was saying, which is crazy as well. I mean, who does contracts anymore, right?
Yeah. Apparently, your cable company does.
All right.
I really don't have a lot to rant or rave about this week. It's just I'm so busy and been so tired with everything we've been doing. But I did want to say that I want to rant a little bit about Comcast too, because we did officially cut the cord, and we're now just at the getting our internet bill, which has been wonderful. We've been enjoying our internet; it's working well. But I've gotten at least twice now on my screen popping up when I go to a website, a pop-up by Comcast that they're obviously injecting into my non-encrypted website I happen to be going to. Hey, you're getting near the end of your limit. You've used up 90% of your 100 gigabits in a month. And I'm thinking to myself, what? I mean, what's going on here? What the hell? And so I understand this has been happening for a while. It's just new for me. I don't like it. I'm about ready to. I really wish there was more options.
If you run an ad blocker, you don't see that stuff.
That's a good point. I should probably do that. That's it. I just need to run an ad blocker. Fix the problem, right?
Yeah.
Did people try streaming stuff and then turning off the TV and it's still streaming in the background? That needs to be fixed too.
Did you manage to get your? Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say the Brave browser. Have you tried that?
Nope, I have not.
That's it's got that ad blocking functionality built right in, and private browsing and everything like that. Something to think about. I don't use it because I use Chrome for software development and stuff, but good alternatives. Get the ad blocker built right in. It's supposed to be pretty solid.
My ad blocker is actually works just fine for what I need it to do, so I don't know. Brave, I understand as it's based off of Chromium, so it's the same thing. They're just another company trying to make their own way of it. Isn't it paid for in some way? I can't remember how they how they make money.
I don't remember. I've read about them a while back, but their whole intention is to provide a cleaner browsing experience for their consumers or for the web. It's one of the guys that helped found Mozilla, and his perception of the way the web is working right now is that it's a mess, and he wants to, at least he professes that he wants to clean it up and make it a better experience for the users, and that's what Brave is all about. So, it's something I mentioned just because it's an interesting concept to me.
Right.
And you can whitelist sites, so that's one of the things they encourage you to do is, whitelist sites that you are okay with getting ads from and stuff like that. Because you want to support that site in some way. So it's just an interesting, it's a different take on the web browser. Kind of interesting.
Okay. Cool. What about you, Mike?
There's a couple of things I kind of want to mention. Obviously, I mentioned that I agree with Jimmy. I watched the first 3 episodes. I thought it was great. At least in the first 3 episodes, Jack Ryan didn't seem to be about patriotism and stuff like that. It was about being a CIA agent for the United States. Yeah, you're obviously probably patriotic in some way to be working for the CIA, but there's no rah-rah USA type stuff going on. This is really about combating terrorism and the threats to the safety of the United States.
Do yourself a favor and read that article.
I definitely will.
I heard about it. I read it at work today, and I was laughing so hard at the just sheer idiocy of the argument that one of my coworkers down the hall stuck his head in my office like, what is going on?
So I have a question real quick about this, since I haven't seen the episode, but I've watched a couple of Jack Ryan movies that I actually love, like Hunt for Red October and things like that. Some of All Fears, while completely a downer, was a decent movie. It's always set up that Jack Ryan is, maybe he was, a Marine and all that, but then he took the desk job and that's what he wants to do, and then he kind of gets forced into a bad situation where he has to do something more than his desk job. Is that what they're doing with the show, or is he just super soldier?
No, he's not the super soldier. He is Jack Ryan. It is true to the stories and true to the background of the books, at least in my opinion.
Okay, that's good because I kind of like that. Yeah, I did serve my time. I want to be boring now. Oh crap! I have to do this because nobody else would do it. Okay, I'll do it. Now let me back to my boring job. I can't do it. Okay, well if they can keep that going and keep it fresh, cool. I'll give it a shot, maybe.
Yeah,
that's Jack.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention is I joined YouTube TV. I signed up for YouTube TV last week so that I could watch Boise State football. And have been super happy with this so far. Worked really well for the football game. I was in a hotel, so I had to deal with hotel Wi-Fi quality. Still almost completely seamless. Yeah, I had to downgrade the video transmission quality at times, but generally the quality was really high despite the fact that we had bad internet, and it was really good. Got the show, the DVR functionality was really good. So I was really happy. It was easy to sign up on the car ride while we headed out to San Antonio. So that and my wife was able to, from her mobile phone, sign up, set up a recording of the football game the next day. So when we got to the hotel, we didn't have to think about it. We just logged in on her laptop, connected it to the TV with an HDMI cable, and watched the football game, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
so
nice. $10 a month.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well,
40.
No, it's like
30 or 40.
40 or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the YouTube TV, not the YouTube Premium.
Okay.
But it worked out really nicely. It was really good. Very happy with it so far. And
do yourself a favor. Now that you have YouTube Live or YouTube TV, go watch it. There's a couple YouTube Red shows you need to watch. Everybody's going to say Cobra Kai, but you need to watch Ryan Hansen Solves Crimes on TV.
Okay.
It is so meta and just absolutely hilarious. It is probably the greatest RedTube. I can't even say YouTube Red show. I mean, and that was the point. Was they kept throughout the whole show, he kept saying, "Yeah, it's for YouTube Red," and everybody kept like, "You're doing a show on a porn site?" And it was a running joke. But check it out. Yeah, I mean, I've been using YouTube TV basically as my DVR for the last 6 months, and works pretty good.
Cool.
All right. Well, I think the only thing I have to rant about was I was hoping it was going to be a rave, but yeah, I finally got myself some wireless headphones, and apparently they screw with my audio when I'm streaming, so that is not going to be an option. I'm going to have to go back to my in-ears that I was using before. But otherwise, I dig them. They're Corsair. They've got weird LEDs on the sides that I turned off. But all right. Well, hey, I think we will go ahead and wrap this up. Head on over to the post show where we will pick some titles. If you haven't already, head on over to tbs.showbot.tv and vote for your favorite title.
Only 5 titles right now. This could
I know, nobody was submitting titles tonight.
Nothing funny.
But I mean, because M-Beam wasn't here to fill it up.
That's true.
So yeah, he usually picks up the slack. Our unofficial producer, working behind the scenes. But, you know, if you're just catching us for the first time, you wandered in here. We're here every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central. Come join us here on Twitch. If you have any comments, you want to reach out to us at Twitter. It is at the VOD Squad. We are now, as of last week, officially part of the Diamond Club stream team. So I assume that may be why some extra people came in tonight. And yeah, if you're not familiar, there is a team page that is auto hosting Diamond Clubbers they're on Twitch. Go out, find it. Down at the bottom, if you check out our channel, down at the bottom, there is a list of all the Stream Team streamers. Make sure you go through and give everyone a follow and follow that page. And if you're looking for something to watch, you don't know what you want to do, just go there. That is essentially becoming the Diamond Club TV replacement. So, yeah.
Cool.
And I think, unless I'm forgetting anything, is there anything else I forgot? Oh, this was episode 97, so 2 more until we get to 100. We still don't know what the heck we're going to do, so if you have any ideas, any thoughts, suggestions, what we should do for episode 100, give us a shout. Let us know. And I guess with that, there you go. You got it.
Later.
See you guys later.
Bye. Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.